Hello everyone, my name's Matt Johnson and welcome to the Interesting Times, a political comedy show from the UK. So there's plenty to talk about this week, but also stick around until the end for a special announcement, which not only is true, but I've watched videos which say if you do that, then people are more likely to watch the whole video. Smart move, eh? So, first things first, third worst Chancellor we've had in the last 3 years, Rachel Reeves has been in Davos.
Well, look who's off to the World Economic Forum in Davos. It's our Chancellor, Rachel Reeves. She's jetted off to Switzerland. Now, as Reeves sips champagne in Davos, the UK economy lies in tatters.
I think you'll find she was glugging champagne, necking it like it was the elixir of life itself. She had one of those helmets, with a champagne bottle either side and a swirly straw going into it. Because while the economy has been showing less signs of growth than a palm tree in Bolton, never fear, Radical Rachel has a plan.
Now, the Chancellor today refused to say whether or not she supports plans for a third runway at London's Heathrow Airport. ITV News understands that next week Rachel Reeves will back a new runway there. Environmental groups say such a move would be catastrophic.
We don't like that airport. We don't want that housing near us. The answer can't always be no. And that's been the problem in Britain for a long time, that when there was a choice between something that would grow the economy and sort of anything else always won.
Well, funny you should say that, Rachel, because we got a lot of anything else over the weekend.
The winds here have really been picking up since we arrived here before first light. Let's start with the picture down in the south of Ireland, where Storm Eowyn first made land. Their records are being broken. Mace Head, County Galway, recorded a gust of 114 miles an hour.
Good afternoon, Sarah Jane, from here in central Glasgow, where the Met Office in the past hour or so has extended that danger to life red weather warning.
We were just hearing millions of people lost power across the United Kingdom and Ireland. We've got the latest figures now. In Scotland, SP Energy Networks said 28,000 people are still cut off. In Northern Ireland, 140,000 homes and businesses were still without power.
715,000 homes without power. You can feel the gusts now.
Yes, Storm Eowyn hit the UK shores over the weekend, with winds blowing up to 114 miles per hour. A record, in fact. It was kind of making that whole discussion on runways and airplanes a bit superfluous. Catch the right breeze and you're halfway to Magaluf before you know it.
Expanding London's airports and building a third runway at Heathrow would be incredibly irresponsible in the midst of a climate emergency, flying in the face of the Climate Change Committee's advice. The Prime Minister clearly knows this because he and 7 Cabinet colleagues voted against a third runway at Heathrow in 2018. So can the Prime Minister confirm what is his position now?
Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, I'm not going to comment on speculation. He knows that we are, as a government, we are committed to growth, we're committed to the aviation sector and to our climate obligations.
That was Adrian Ramsey, the Green Party's co-leader, pointing out that while extra planes are great, it would be a bit pointless if it's at the cost of the planet. You know, that bit where the planes land. Honestly, what idiot would suggest a third runway? This idiot.
I also think that expanding Heathrow is right. Third runway, I would go for a fourth runway as well.
4 runways? Are you expecting extra shipments, Michael? From somewhere? Of something? Anyway, let's move on from natural disasters that we can't control to unnatural disasters that we can't control. As the Donald got inaugurated on Monday and got straight to war on woke, he declared that there are only 2 genders, matching the number of brain cells he has, and issued an executive order declaring that these sexes are not changeable and are grounded in fundamental and incontrovertible reality. Oh, we're playing a reality card now, are we? Got to wonder which sleeve you've been hiding that up for the last few months. He also said about scrapping the DEI, diversity, equality and inclusion. Well, thank God really. There's been a little too much of that of late. But most importantly of all, free speech had returned for some people, but not others.
The Labour government know that they've got to change their tone.
Sadiq Khan, you are Mayor of London. You are not an international leader. Back in your box.
When are these Labour types going to learn to shut their mouth in the interest of the nation?
What our once great capital city desperately needs is someone who's going to tackle real issues head on, not someone who I believe is hiding behind seemingly hysterical, inflammatory language and left-wing populism.
Shut up. Just shut up about all that stuff now.
Excuse me, can everyone shut up, please, while I enjoy my freedom of speech? But the news that Trump had won again made Mike Graham of Talk TV happier than a pig in concrete.
He's been incredibly busy in the first sort of 2 days of his new reign.
I mean, this is the most exciting, change of regime that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
2 years is going to be so dramatic and revitalising the nation that it's going to be like a tsunami coming over the ocean.
Yes.
And it's going to wash over the shores of Europe as well.
Yes, nothing quite feels so reassuring as describing one of our closest allies and world's only superpower as a reigning tsunami regime. Trump himself was very much looking at the presidency like a side hustle, a reason to get into the office on a daily basis while he concentrated on the things that really mattered. His money, and how to make even more by getting people to pay for pretend money.
Well, ahead of Donald Trump's inauguration earlier this week, the then president-elect and his wife, Melania Trump, both launched their own cryptocurrency meme coins. The Dollar Trump and Dollar Melania coins surged as the 47th U.S. president was sworn in for a second term in the White House.
Do you intend to continue selling products that benefit yourself personally while you're president?
Well, I don't know if it benefited. I don't know where it is. I don't know much about it other than I launched it. I heard it was very successful. I haven't checked it. Where is it today?
You made a lot of money, sir.
How much?
Several $billion, it seems like, in the last several days.
Several billion? That's peanuts for these guys.
Fascinating, I think you'll agree. Well, for those that don't know what cryptocurrency is or how to get involved, and I'll be honest, I've seen a demographic of the channel, my guest here hopefully will be able to help us with any tricky questions we may have. Ben Livington-Smith
sorry, it's Smythe, actually.
Beg your pardon. Ben Livington-Smythe.
Sorry, just Smith, Matt.
Hopefully will be able to help us navigate this tricky minefield. Ben himself is indeed a former child star, a former stand-up, a current entrepreneur and current host of the show Words of Wisdom. Now,
wow.
It's not that impressive. It's on the note that you gave me.
No. That's a nickname that the fans of the podcast have for the show. Words of Wisdom. Wow.
Ben, cryptocurrency. What is it?
Well, I could bore your audience to death talking about blockchain technology and supercomputers.
Don't do that. Please.
Yeah, but what it's really all about, Matt, is freedom, right? Because we want to throw away the chains that traditional mainstream big banking has put onto us. We want to control our own finances and our own economy, and we can do that through cryptocurrency. That's what it's really all about.
Right. But we're only really talking about it this time because of Donald Trump and coming up with his own cryptocurrency, aren't we?
Well, Matt, Donald Trump is a big advocate of this stuff. And I think it's because he really believes in all those freedoms that I was talking about earlier. Some people are saying that Donald Trump could be the first Bitcoin president.
What, you mean fake, essentially worthless, and always been involved in scams? Yeah, sounds about right. Now, the currency he's come up with, what's it called?
It's Dollar Trump.
Right. And Melania, his wife, has come out with one as well, hasn't she?
She has indeed.
And what's that called?
Melania.
Genius.
Oh, but the S on the end is a dollar sign. That's great. Can I have that?
Knock yourself out. But really, isn't this whole thing a conflict of interest? Certainly for somebody like Donald Trump.
No, so, cryptocurrencies, they don't accrue interest, so no conflicts.
No, what I mean is, isn't the whole thing corruption?
No, the files are working fine, none of it's corrupted, the programs are working fine.
Let me try and explain it in words that you can understand. Isn't the whole thing a racket?
No, it's coins. Like, because it's currency, so there's no tennis involved. Look, okay, maybe you're not getting it, so I'll give you an example. Can we get the graphic up, please?
Graphic?
Okay, great. So, coming from your friends at the Words of Wisdom podcast,
Where did that come
we
from?
are launching our own cryptocurrency. That's right, Wisdom Coin.
Somebody hacked my YouTube account.
And back. So, you need to get in on this sexy, innovative future.
It's
of
not
finance.
sexy.
Click on the link below.
There's no
Get
link.
10% off
You
your
click
total
on that link,
budget.
you'll lose money.
We take no personal responsibility for damages and losses incurred.
This is exactly what I mean. Flogging stuff on my channel. This is the problem, right? It's all well and good while people believe in the currency and believe
Can we
everything.
get a chill pill for Matt, please? I think he's getting a little angry. Just calm down for me, buddy.
It's all well and good while people believe in the currency. But what happens if people stop believing in the currency and stop investing? It will disappear, won't it? It will simply disappear. And then what? And what happens if people stop believing in you, Ben? You're the one that's selling it. What happens if people stop believing in you? What then?
People stop believing in me.
Yes. Yeah.
Like I stop existing.
What?
Like I just disappear. I don't want to die.
Right. Thank you, Ben Livingston Smith.
Smythe.
For joining me. Well, we put it off for long enough. So, let's talk about Elon Musk. So, let's talk about that salute, wave, gesture. Okay, and I'm going to go out on a limb here. Not this one. That's staying by my side. But I don't think that was a Nazi salute, especially when you compare it to an actual Nazi salute. The Nazis tended to just extend their arm. There was no thumping of the heart beforehand. But here's the thing. It's the ultimate gaslighting from Elon. He knows exactly what he's doing here. A gesture that looks like it could well be mistaken for a Nazi salute. So when he's called out on it, can say that it wasn't and say it's a rabid left comparing everything to Hitler, while giving a nod and a wink to all those Proud Boys and MAGA enthusiasts that fashion is back, baby. But Elon himself might be on the way out, as this might be less of a Nazi salute and more of a wave of goodbye. And that's it. Now time to talk about a rather interesting fact. Cold chow at the ready. Had the Conservative Party not imploded, Boris Johnson could have been going to Donald Trump's inauguration as Prime Minister. Thursday was the last day that the Tories could have called an election. But they did the right thing by the country. Only took them 14 years and left early. Could have cleaned up first. Oh, they did. No time to talk about Isabel Oakeshott, Richard Tice's better half. Worst half. Hard to tell. She's had enough of Muslim immigrants coming over here and ruining the country, so she's decided to emigrate to a Muslim country and ruin that. See how they like it.
Some of our viewers and listeners may have noticed that there was some media coverage over the weekend about the fact that I myself am currently based in the Middle East.
And she decided that this was part of a broader picture and let loose a little bit more hypocrisy in doing so. See if you can spot this one.
The rich are not super rich because they just toss their money around, willy-nilly. They're super rich because they are smart about their assets. And the idea that non-doms are just going to say, oh, fine then, you're just about to wallop me with a load more tax, so I'm just going to sit in the UK and pay your pernicious tax. Of course not. They just move. For many people in that non-dom category, their attitude, whether we like it or not, whether we approve of this, is they sort of see countries like hotels.
So migrants in hotels is now a good thing? While the inauguration of Lame and the Giant impeach may have signalled a win for the war on woke, it seems not everyone got the memo.
This morning, Britain's Prince Harry settled a long-running libel suit against British tabloids owned by Rupert Murdoch, who also owns Fox News and the newspapers in this country. His company has admitted that the way it pursued scoops about Harry and his mother, that would be Princess Diana, was wrong, and they're apologizing. Imtiaz Tayeb is in London with more on this story. Imtiaz, good morning to you. This is a big, big win for Prince Harry, it seems.
Yes, Prince Harry has won against Rupert Murdoch and against News Corp, and he got them to apologise. I mean, like, a lot.
What has happened today is that News Group newspapers have, in essence, given him the apology that he has wanted. News Group newspapers have released what is this extraordinary apology. They offer a full and unequivocal apology to him for what they say was the serious intrusion by the Sun between 1996 and 2011 into his private life, including, they say, incidents of unlawful activities carried out by private investigators. They also go on to apologise for phone hacking, surveillance and misuse of private information by journalists and private investigators. What is also very striking is they apologise to the Duke for the impact on him of extensive coverage and serious intrusion into his private life. They also talk about how they apologise for the distress caused to the Duke and the damage it inflicted on relationships, friendships and family over the years.
And he got Rupert Murdoch to say sorry for having that face, and he has to be followed everywhere by two people holding a banner saying "Make way, tiny penis man coming through," and he got him to wear a tutu and bunny ears and nappy and say he's a princess of ploppy pants. This is just fantastic, and hopefully just the beginning, as the police may be looking into further prosecutions. Honestly, this piece of news is so sweet, I think I've gotten diabetes just hearing about it. So, that big announcement. Well, I've been seeing my viewing figures go down week after week, indeed month after month. And looking back on old videos, I noticed that the new ones, while they were hot on facts, maybe they were a little bit light on laughs, which the old ones definitely were a lot more hot on laughs. Now, I should appreciate that people come to this channel to not forget about the state of politics, but to laugh at them. So, New Year's resolution, more laughs per video, which is why I did the Southport News separately. Also, for those that watched mine and Andrew's podcast on Wednesday, and if not, why not, or indeed my video from a couple of weeks ago, again, if not, why not, go have a look after watching this. You'll notice I've been getting a lot more confident about the UK getting a second referendum on EU membership. And the Lib Dems have been making lots of the right kind of noises on that part. So, this channel will be producing a weekly EU Brexity type of slot, probably at the end of the regular show like this one, where I talk about any developments in that area. And the channel will be backing the Lib Dems when any elections, council elections, etc. come round. Thank you everyone for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, feel free to like, subscribe and hit all the notifications button. And I'll see you all next week. Take care.